We'll begin the press conference shortly.
Good morning. Hi, Coach. How are you? Good, good. Very good. Ready? All right.
Thank you for joining us for the press conference for the Stanford women's basketball team. We're joined at the podium by head coach Tara Vanderveer and student athletes Bree Roberson, Brittany McPhee, Carly Samuelson, Kaylee Johnson, and Erica McCall. And we will open it up with questions for the student athletes.
Let's start with Carly. This is a 9 a.m. game, West Coast time. Is that any kind of a factor for you folks, or do you guys feel like you could play at 3 in the morning?
I don't think time's a factor. We were in Kansas for a while. We came straight to Kentucky, so I think we're acclimated to the time.
Let's go down the list. Bree, playing against Lindsay Allen again, can you talk a little bit about what the challenge there is? You've played against some pretty top point guards this season, but what about her specifically?
She's a very composed guard, a great guard, has a lot of tools in her arsenal, but I'm pretty confident in our game plan and preparation for her as far as guarding her and guarding every guard on their team.
Britt, I don't know who's going to be playing against Ariya Adams, but she looks like a scoring machine at this point, and she's really strong, and she's only 5'8", but they throw lob passes to her. What are you seeing from her, and what's the challenge of facing a kid like that?
Yeah, she's just always looking to score, so just, being ready to guard her right when she gets the ball and knowing her favorite moves and tendencies is going to be key, because obviously she's going to, get some points, but, trying to contain her to a reasonable amount.
Erica, you had obviously a huge game against Notre Dame last year. They claim that revenge is not a motive, not a key motive for them, because everybody wants to get to the Final Four so bad. But revenge, not a motive. Do you buy that?
I mean, they said what they said. So, like I said, everyone wants to get to the Final Four. We just compete well together. So I think they're just looking forward to an exciting game, the same as we are. So, should be fun.
And I might as well, since I've got the microphone, I might as well ask Kayla. You had a huge game against Notre Dame too last year. Probably the best game you ever played, I would imagine. Do you guys feel you're playing with house money at this point because you're playing against a top-seeded team that has been gearing up for the Final Four right along? Do you feel like you're loose? I mean, as the underdog?
Like Bert said, we're just really excited for a great game. We know we have to compete. We know they're going to come out and be competitive. I mean, we definitely have this sense of urgency. It's really instilled at this point. So we're ready to go. We're excited and just got to know our next game's our biggest game.
For Erica, does it seem repetitive, or I mean, to be playing kind of the same team, I guess now for 3 straight marches? Is it kind of repetitive, or is it just one of those things you want to kind of see maybe the same team that you face to really show how far you all have come, and especially since they're top seeded, how good you all can be?
Yeah, I think it's good to play the team that you're comfortable with, that some type of, we kind of know a scouting report on them. So I think the NCAA committee just really likes this matchup and they want to see it time and time again. So it means it must be pretty iconic.
Any other questions for the student athletes? If not, then they can be dismissed. Thank you very much. And we'll open it up with questions for the head coach.
Coach, of course, they lost Turner. Were you surprised at anything you saw that they did Friday that may have been different from what you expected?
Honestly, I really was focused on Texas, and I watched, obviously, last night I watched Notre Dame, but, they have a very talented team, and, it's a hard when someone goes down, but there was a next person up, and I thought Aaron Boley played really well. Nelson played well. They've got some great players, and I don't think I was surprised. They're a very talented team, and they knew they had to play well, and they did.
When this bracket was coming together, did you kind of see the potential for this kind of matchup looming, and maybe in your mind, especially given the history, kind of prepare yourself, well, we could see them again?
Well, you can see them again when you're in the bracket. I mean, I guess that you could say that about anyone in the tournament, just because you never know what's going to happen. But I think this year especially, there have been more upsets, closer games with higher and lower seeds. So I don't think anything was predictable per se. And obviously, when you have an injury, with a key player, anything could happen in the Purdue game. I don't think we were guaranteed coming out of Kansas. And obviously Texas is a great matchup. So we really focus on the one game that we're playing, and today we're focused on Notre Dame.
Seen from the Pac-12 the past couple of years in the postseason, what we're seeing right now from Oregon against Maryland, what role did your program play in setting a standard that those other programs had to raise themselves to meet? Well,
I think Stanford made a commitment to women's basketball back when I was hired by Andy Geiger, and we were able to recruit nationally. And now I think with the Pac-12 network, we've had great teams and great players in the Pac-12 for 30 years. A lot of times, people haven't seen them or heard about them, and without maybe Pac-12 network, or without even sometimes the opportunities to see these teams, an Oregon team might not have even been in the tournament, in the past. But obviously they're doing really well, and it's something that I'm really proud to be a part of, this league that is a premier league, and with great players. And I think that this tournament swing this year will only make it kind of harder, my job harder in a good way, more competitive top to bottom. But the Pac-12 has always been extremely competitive with great players, and just people sometimes haven't known about them. And a lot of those teams have not gotten maybe a first-round home game, or gotten a decent seed so they can even move on. But I mean, having 5 teams in the Sweet 16, I think has been awesome. And is Oregon winning right now? Great. That's great.
Tara, is the loss of Turner sort of the equivalent of what it would be for you to lose McCall?
You never want to lose anybody. I think their team they have a lot of offensive weapons, and she did some things that, really special, but I think that they're able to, kind of put the puzzle together differently with different they have really outstanding offensive players. I think Ariya, for us, we can, we've had games where she has struggled or maybe hasn't played that well. She, for us, she's so important for us emotionally. So in some ways, I think it would be probably a bigger loss for us.
The players didn't seem to have much worry about a 9 a.m. Pacific game. Do you?
No, not at all. I mean, part of it is because we've been on this time zone. It was a little kind of difficult in the bracket to be in the real late game and then a real early morning game. But I think we learned a lot from last time around in that we're working really hard to, get right back, get hydrated, do some recovery, and get a good night's sleep. And we've emphasized that with our team.
We're going to go back here, and then we'll come back to the front. Yep.
Coach, Notre Dame, we saw last night, they can hit 4, 5, 6, 7 threes in a row. Have you played a team this year with that kind of prowess from outside the arc, and how do you feel you defended them? And does Notre Dame remind you of somebody you've played this year?
Washington is a team that can really hit threes. There are a lot of teams in our conference. Oregon is a very good three-point shooting team. UCLA, a lot of the teams that are doing really well in the tournament. We know that that's something that we'll have to contend with. But they really, both teams were shooting 50% last night at halftime, and I'm not sure for the whole game. But I just thought, wow. I told our team when I went right into the locker room, I said, the baskets are working. So it should make for a very, very exciting game.
Tara, Muffet McGraw was saying the reason that they don't play you in the regular season is that they generally try to use their trips for recruiting purposes in parts of and they haven't been recruiting in California a lot. Would you like to play them in the regular season? That would
be fine. Yeah, I think that football has a good home and home series with them, and I think we probably, we had never played Notre Dame in the NCAA until 2 years ago. In all my 30 years, I can never ever remember playing Notre Dame. So I think that probably next year we'll be in a different bracket. But it would be great to play Notre Dame. They have a great program. We did play them home and away, just in a regular, just home and away. I think in 1993, or it was Molly Goodenbauer. I remember Molly's year. So 92, 93, something like that.
From them next year?
I'm just thinking variety, maybe. I don't know. Do they just use the same? I don't know. Maybe. Just thinking, maybe.
I just want to finish up with a question about Arike Ogunbowale, because it was sort of a revelation to those of us who really haven't seen a lot of her.
Yeah.
This kid is 5'8", and they're throwing lob passes to her, and she's just doing everything all over the court. And first of all, who's going to guard her, and what's the challenge of?
Well, as you said, she's first of all, she's versatile. She's strong. She's got great hands. She gives you inside and outside dimension. She if you have a small person on her, she'll post them up. If you have a big one, she'll pull them away. So I think we'll just have to try the spaghetti approach, and throw it up on the wall and see if it sticks.
along that line, when a team has that much balanced scoring as Notre Dame did, how much tougher does that make preparing for or adjusting for them? I mean, it's one thing to, to focus maybe on someone like Turner, but without her and they spread the ball around, how much tougher is that?
I mean, they have, we do analytics, and their offense is in the 98th, 99th, or, percentile in, catch and shoot and finishing at the basket. And I mean, their offense is phenomenal. So, I think we have a good offense too, but we're going to have to come out and play well offensively, and we're going to have to play well defensively. I think the job that Bree and Marta did last night with McCarty was a phenomenal job. I mean, she ended up with 8 points, but I know at least 2 or 4 of them might have been way at the end of the game, no threes. So our team is a blue collar team. Maybe Notre Dame isn't. But we have to be a blue collar team, and we're going to have to bring our hard hats and boots and come to work, because it's not going to be just playing a pickup game out there. We're going to have to really be aggressive and play hard.
From an appeals standpoint, when you have 2 powerhouse programs like this meeting each other, how much do you feel like that, even if it is like year after year after year, how much do you feel like that can really kind of raise the profile of the sport in general?
Well, I think last year when we played, it was a great game. The year before, I don't think we were as competitive as we needed to be with them. They have a great, outstanding players, and have been, I think, one of the top teams, year in and year out. And that's a real credit to Muffet. She is an excellent teacher and an excellent basketball coach. And they have very talented players. And I think it's a real credit to her that they played so well yesterday without, maybe their leading scorer. But other people stepped up for them. I think it's great for women's basketball to have marquee teams playing each other. And we want to play well. And our team is very excited.
Any other questions for the head coach? If not, then
all right. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow.
And the Stanford locker room will be open until 1:45. Thank you.